Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do another planet profile kind of analysis reaction. Today is Sindell. Sindell is one of the probably coolest and most popular planets in Chaos Galaxy. Which you don't know about Chaos Galaxy, by the way, links in the description to the YouTube channel as well as our community Discord. We talk about the game a lot and do a lot of tournaments and discussion and play online and all that stuff. So if you want to learn more and participate in the community, make sure to check out the links down below. That being said, Sindell. Sindell is been historically in recent years one of the stronger planets in the game. They've had a really good card pool, lots of strong cards like Pelfam, like Skelepede, Gehenna, all of that. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of new cards they get. Zach said they're going to try to be more focused on killing their cards and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see like what I've already looked at it, but kind of what the support the Sindel gets kind of ends up doing for the planet and kind of the depth of their card pool. Because right now they have like two things they can kind of do, um, maybe three. Like they have like a more control focused Gehenna kind of build, and then they have kind of like mid-rangey tempo kind of stuff they can do with Atomic Gi and Bone Ladder and all that stuff. So they're kind of like the two branches of Sindel that you kind of see nowadays. Sindel hasn't been as popular this format, but I think it's still quite good. But yeah. That being said, let's get into the new cards. I believe Bondbeak is first. So Bondbeak, 2-star Sindel, 100 power, 70 health. When the sun creature is killed, you can kill one Galaxy Sindel creature. So obviously, this is just like a chump blocker, and then it has an effect that allows you to kill a Galaxy Sindel creature. So the first thing that comes to mind is obviously Walking Man is the only current card that really synergizes with this. Walking Man, when it's killed in the Galaxy by a Sindel effect, you get a draw card. So it's like pretty interesting. I think Zach reveals a couple other cards that work with this in a second that we'll talk about. I think those cards aren't quite as good, but we'll talk about them. And then also this works for like setting up Bone Ladder and stuff. Although I'm not sure like how like worthwhile that is. So it seems like a pretty good just like chump blocker that allows you to activate some other effects. I think it'll work like it's kind of talking about because it's like the things I think it will work with like Cauldron and stuff like haven't come into play yet. That being said, Darkspec Diabolus. 290, 270. It's like a pretty decent stat line. It's not like crazy. It's just like pretty standard 5-star stuff. It's a 6-star though, so it's like kind of weak for its star cost. But then it has the ability only once you can kill up to 4 cards from the top of your galaxy, gain 1 star for each. If this creature is killed from your galaxy, gain 3 stars. This seems like not that great because, like obviously, like you gain 4 stars, which is good. It basically negates the cost of this card pretty much. Like it costs like 2 stars instead of 6 essentially if you activate the ability to its like full extent. And then getting killed from the galaxy and gaining 3 is also okay. I'm trying to like think of like you can kill off of Bondbeak and stuff, or like the Universe Boundary as well. I don't think it's like gonna be usually that worthwhile to just gain 3 stars from your deck. But yeah, killing the top 4, there's not a lot of cards that will like super benefit from being killed off the top of your deck besides like Walking Man, like I said earlier, Diabolus as well, but I don't think the effect is that good. Like the payoff is usually not gonna be that good, I think. So being able to randomly killing the top 4 is like probably not worth it considering how much you could potentially lose. So that's the main issue I see with this card is that there isn't enough payoff yet, even with the cards that he does introduce in a second later. But yeah, it seems pretty interesting. I think a lot of the success of this card will probably depend on how relevant the stats are. The stats are kind of similar to Dark Market Alchemist, if not exactly the same. I'm trying to remember. They're similar at the very least. The 270 health in particular. So yeah, this card might be okay. I don't know. There's just not enough payoff for self mill, I think. I feel like there's something I'm missing that I should mention. It could work with some of the other stuff like Cauldron and stuff, but I feel like being able to choose what you kill from your deck, like Bond Beak and Universe Boundary, is just gonna be a lot more effective for setting up combos and stuff than Diabolus is. And Diabolus doesn't have like enough payoff outside of that to make it that much worthwhile. Here's Puppet Abomination. You kill it from when it's killed from your galaxy, you can free play it. This is like exactly what I didn't want to happen. Um, Comparing this to like Walkman, when you kill Walkman from an ability, you draw a card. But also when you just play Walkman, it can be killed by an attack, and also you can draw a card. So Walkman like has versatility, whether it's killed from deck or from hand or just played to the field. Like that's part of why Walkman is so good and will probably continue to be good in the future with all this self mill kill support. Is that it doesn't require other cards to be good. It's just good on its own, and then can be potentially better with other cards. Puppet Abomination is kind of not like that at all. It's like kind of maybe okay with other cards, and then like really not good at all with by itself. By itself, it's just if you draw this card, it's a 122/40 vanilla, which isn't good at all. Or it's like I mean it is what it is. It's like there's some better vanillas. And then when it's killed from your deck, you get a 122/40 vanilla, which is okay to get like a free vanilla off of another effect, but like it's so bad when you draw it. Wick has a similar issue as well, where like if you draw it naturally, then it's kind of bad, but if you draw it off an effect, then it's still kind of bad, and Puppet Abomination is like kind of the same. So yeah. I really wish that we got less cards like this that are just like super reliant on other cards. Um, and if they are gonna be super reliant on other cards, they have to be better. Like Pluga's super reliant on other cards, but Pluga's crazy, so it's fine. Puppet Abomination is super reliant on other cards, and its like stats are bad, which which makes it kind of rough to play. The next card, Banangry, is like even worse somehow. This is funny though. Um, Adding a resource or battle zone to your planet. Um, those are arguably the weaker of the three zones, which is interesting. Zone gain is obviously historically not very good, which is also not looking great for this card. And then when you draw this card, it's a 3-star 70, 170, which is like an awful stat line, I think. I can't really think of like. This only kills like the smallest of creatures and walls out the smallest of creatures. I don't know. Stat line's not very good, probably not very good when you draw it. Probably not even that good when you proc it off of the other effect. Zone gain is really only good during like early game. So zone gain by itself kind of struggles to be relevant generally. And it seems like it'll probably continue to be so, do so, like be not relevant. So yeah, this card's not super impressive to me either. Same kind of issue as Wick, same kind of issue as Puppet Abomination. Just doesn't do a whole lot when you draw it, and then in combination with other cards, it still doesn't do enough. Main issue. So those are kind of like the bad cards. Those are the bad cards. This is the crazy card. Skelequwueen. This card's probably insane. Um, Being able to play Skelepede and then play Skelequueen for 1 star, getting a 480 for 1 star is just really good. Basically get like a 6-point board from 4 stars, which is I can't really think of any other deck that really can even come close to kind of replicating that. So very scary, very scary. It is only 80 points or 80 health, so it's not like the board's like super like bulky or anything. But it's just very threatening. That being said, yeah, I think this is going to be like a Sindell like staple pretty much with Skelepede. Or not Skelepede, Skelegast. I think Skelepede will still probably see play. I was talking to Silver about it, and Skelepede, like the effect is like just relevant enough in like the mirror matchup that like you still probably play it, and just having it's also just a good 4-star vanilla as well. So yeah, you'll probably see Skelepede get played, and you'll definitely see Skelepede get played. You'll probably still see Skelepede get played. The archetype's kind of a little bit more full now. You're basically able to do what Skelecrone kind of did in previous formats, where you could like Skelecrone and then like target Atomic Gi and then Skelepede the Atomic Gi and get a 400 basically. So it's like a little bit weaker than that, but it's a lot cheaper and a lot more consistent. So definitely interesting to see. This card's scary, and it looks very cool. This art's insane. I love this art so much. Yeah, Skelequeen kind of adding a little bit of that archetype. It's like adds a lot to the archetype in like a very it does like so much with so little, so it's very cool. Next is Chainik. I actually quite like this card too, although I'm not sure how strong it's going to be. Basically, you play it, and then only once you could attach one of either player's killed creatures to the card, and both creatures must have the same stars. So basically, Chainik gets to target either one 4-star from either player's killed pile, and then attach it to it. Oh, no, it doesn't attach. Wait, it does attach. It does. And then attach it to it, and then it gains the power and health of that creature. So basically, this means that it's like a 4-star that can basically take a bunch of different stat lines. So like if your opponent had dead in their killed pile, this could all of a sudden be a 4320. If you have Dim Knight in your profile in your killed pile, this could be a 250, 140. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to have a 4-star that like during the late game can kind of take on all these different stat lines if it wants to. So I could see it being relevant, although I'm not totally sure. Maybe it's like a sideboard card. It feels weird because it feels like kind of niche, but doesn't feel impactful enough to like really be like make matchups. If that makes sense. Like I can't think of a matchup where like this would be really impactful. I can see matchups where it might be kind of good, but not like really impactful. It's a very cool card though. Obviously, since it says same stars, there are ways to kind of like cheese out bigger things. If you play like Cloud Cells and Omnius, this is a 500 4-star 500 500. Obviously, I think that's awful. I think that's like not a good combo. But it's interesting. Kind of gives it a little bit of utility. Maybe if in the future, if there's like a Sindell like Star Gain archetype, they could like combo with this and it'd be cool. Definitely see potential with this card. It's a very cool design. I don't think it'll be that relevant. Probably. It depends on how good Blade Demon is, which I don't think Blade Demon's gonna be super good either. But with that being said, let's talk about Blade Demon because that's interesting too. So Blade Demon is a 350, 200, and then the effect is if there's another zone creature, kill this card. So obviously this card's way overstated. This card, insane stats. It's got like 6-star stats for 4 stars. But obviously the downside's awful. So if there's any zone creature, this creature kills creature, which means this creature can really only attack face, which means it's not very versatile. And it can really only, and it also doesn't offer any board protection. So if your opponent plays any creature, if they play Thermalbark, this immediately dies and they can swing face. So it offers basically no board control and it offers good face damage for its cost. And then obviously it combos really well with Chainik. So I could see this card being played. Maybe if you're playing like a super aggressive face deck, this card could be cool. But you're just like trying to swing face as hard as you can. Then this could be like an aggressive card. And maybe it will see play in those kinds of decks, even though those kinds of decks don't tend to be good. Maybe this will help them kind of be a little bit better. So basically this could be a face card, and also this could just be setting up for Chainik, right? You could do like Bond Beak, kill your Blade Demon, play Chainik, and then you have all of a sudden your Chainiks for the rest of the game are 350, 200, which is really strong for a 4-star. So I'm not sure like how powerful that combo will be, or how consistent it will be. But I think there's potential there. Being able to just have 350, 200 on 4 stars throughout the game is good. It seems really good. So yeah. Blade Demon kind of gives me hope for Chainik, and Chainik kind of gives me hope for Blade Demon. They're both really interesting cards, so I'd love to see them see play. And I think they do have the potential to do that, but they might be a little bit too, like, they might not be good enough, basically. It kind of just depends. Because at the end of the day, they are just vanilla cards, really. They are just stats. But, like, they are really good stats. So, yeah. If these stats are, like, enough to justify them, then that's good. If not, then they're not. I think one of the issues is that, like, they are just stats, and Skelequwueen is just stats, and Skelequwueen's better. Probably. I think that'll be the main issue they see. Yeah, maybe it'll be good. Could be cool. Next is Helda's Cauldron. So this card is really interesting. I think this can create some like crazy like 2-card combos. If you think about like Universe Boundary or Bond Beak plus Helda's Cauldron, all of a sudden those are like you can free play any creature from your deck. You free play any Sindell creature from your deck. And when I say it like that, it sounds kind of crazy. If you like play Bond Beak dies, you kill Skelepede, and then all of a sudden Helda's Cauldron, and you have Skelepede on your field. You play Bonbeak, Bonbeak dies, you kill Gatamagi, all of a sudden you play Hell's Cauldron, now you have Gatamagi on your field. Like, the potential for that is, like, kind of crazy when I think about it like that. I'm just not sure if that, like, 2-card combo is going to be totally worthwhile, or if it'll be not consistent enough to be good. But this card is very interesting. I'd like to see people mess around with it. Because it might be good, it might be good. And, yeah. Oh, this is 5-star lower, so it's not that good. But, like, Skelepede's, like... Skelepede. Think about the Skelepede. Skelepede. Not Skelepede, Skelegas. Skelegas. This card is Skelegas is crazy. Ignore Gatamagi. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. But yeah. You can also do, like... You can have so much stuff with this card. What else is in here? Point 2. Okay, point 2 is kind of goated. Basically, when points played by either player, you gain 1 point. Really, it's only going to be played if you're playing burn and you're playing point. I think it's kind of cool that we're getting more cards that allow you to gain points without having to rely on Pointato. Because the issue with burn right now is that the reliance on Pointato is like crazy. Like, you literally have to play into Pointato so hard. 7.2 gives you a little bit of alternative ways to gain points. Could be cool. Might be fun. Probably bad, though. And lastly, we have Abomination Tomb. Super generic rival ability. You just pay stars and then bring back one of your creatures. And that's crazy.
Bell's coming over.
Okay.
She's coming right now.
Okay. So yeah, Abomination Tomb, probably going to be a staple card. Like, I imagine, like, any card that can take advantage of this will. And deck can take advantage of this will. It's just very strong, very generic, very good. Especially in, like, combination with, like, Skelepede and stuff is going to be really scary. Like, your opponent's going to have, like, 6, 8 Skelepedes throughout the turn, and that's crazy. So yeah. That's kind of it. A lot of these cards are pretty exciting. A lot of them are very interesting. So I'm excited to play with them. They seem to be, some of them, very strong. Skelequwueen, obviously, very strong. Bombeak seems pretty interesting, too. Other things seem interesting, so I'm excited to see them see play, or experimented with at least. And that's kind of it. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Make sure to check out the Discord right now. Go, 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 go.